Okay, so we should be back up.
Okay.
Alright, can you hear us, and is our audio still choppy? I recognize
Also, I mean, just we're not running at a high resolution, so source is probably not going to be very high, so
Okay.
probably should be okay.
Let's get started. So, right before this save point...
This is an N64 game, so the resolution is not actually that high.
Right before this save point that we're about to start on, we were introduced to the revolution. The head of the revolution... What?
No, just keep going.
The head of the revolution, a man and possibly biased against either women or robots, kicked us out of the revolution. And then the mean girl that we have been trying to be friends with found out that we were a robot and was like, a robot, and called the cops. We then got to do an extended segment where we ran all the way around.
That was the one that looks like Sailor Moon, not the tough girl who's good.
No, the tough girl is good, but the Sailor
Moon loves
Moon...
planes.
The Sailor Moon mean girl betrayed us, and we then got to go all the way around the island, every single location. Either we got chased by cops, we ran into someone who's like, okay, it's fine that you're a robot, but the cops are after you, you'd better get out of here. Or people who rejected us due to us being robots. There's also some really weird kind of like transanalogous stuff where a bunch of people were like, well, I wouldn't have minded, but why weren't you honest with me? While kind of demonstrating why we wouldn't have told them in the first place about being a robot, of course. Yeah, and then the revolution started. So we are coming in just as the revolution starts between the natives of Blue Land who were exiled to an oil rig and Blue Land itself. And if that sounded complicated, wait until you get to actually watch this part.
I leave town for 3 weeks and the revolution starts without me?
Yeah, sorry.
Also, we took the cute girl on a plane ride.
We did take the cute girl on a plane
She really
ride.
wanted to fly. It was a stolen plane.
We stole a plane.
We also may have shot some of the...
A bunch of them, actually.
Yeah. It was good.
Okay.
The game was good.
And we were like, is this moral? And the guy who runs the repair shop was like, no, it's okay, they're all automated. Whereas the cutscenes clearly say that no, those are humans flying those planes. So, oh well.
Also, just said is automated. Zed. Oh, God.
Let me try unhooking and hooking it in.
Beep.
Yeah, so people having... That is weird that people are having an encoding thing because I have not changed a single setting since the last time.
Should we put Watch's source in the description, or will people even understand that?
If people ask, I think chat can now take care of
Yep.
it. So we want the middle one, right?
Hey, sorry, what does it mean that Josette has a human heart?
I think she doesn't have a human heart, actually. I think she has something else.
It's a thing with dinosaurs.
Let's just watch, and we'll get to the dinosaurs in due time. No,
Whoops,
this is...
not the right one.
Yeah.
Do we have a way to exit?
The
oh
menus.
no.
You could say stop communicating with me.
Yeah, that will it just tell us to turn off the console though?
Yeah, it will, you just have to...
Yeah, let me just...
Sorry about this getting started, folks.
So is it the bottom one then we want?
I think it's the bottom one.
If you hit reset, I think it's just gonna crash.
Let's do hard reset.
Oh wow, it worked.
Alright. It's time for that lore.
Okay, so we think it's the bottom one. Love that it's all 84%
Yeah, this
so
is
we
not
can't
super
tell.
helpful.
What's really wild is, like, they could have said chapter 2, because, like, right before the save point, it just outright said chapter 2. Yeah.
The story chapter.
Part 1
So-
was the communication chapter.
Wild thing. Actually, we've got to just go right into it.
Yeah, Poco is the prince of Corlo Island and also the reincarnation of Pino.
But Pino died.
Yep, it's on autopilot. Heh, that's amazing. Do you want to be Josette's voice again?
Okay.
Exclamation point. One-chan,
What's wrong?
we're gonna crash!
Man, that outfit. That is not a good revolutionary outfit. Neon Robin Hood is a bad look.
What were you two thinking?
We're sorry.
Calm down. I think these kids are showing admirable courage for their age. I can speak.
Yeah, aren't we? Pogo. Siliconian fleet sighted!
That is exactly the voice I was expecting.
How many ships? 2! The escort vessel Claudiscary and the troop ship Totoras.
Which we have totally heard about before.
Right.
We have never heard of them before.
We weren't allowed to join the revolution. Only 2 ships?
They probably couldn't imagine this in their worst nightmares. The revolution group aligned with the pirates probably thought they'd get an easy victory. Well, they'll realize their mistake soon enough. That head is so good.
So good.
Mwahahaha! Everyone, take position.
So the pirates have joined with the revolution group against the fascist colonialists.
But are the Siliconians robots?
No,
Don't think so.
that guy's a robot.
Lord Masala, we've sighted the ship that we believe to belong to the Revolution Group. Their ship ought to be some piece of crap anyway. It won't pose much of a threat. It's the pirate cruiser, Ginixis to be exact. What? The Ginixis? Curses!
It's a pretty good masala.
Oh, that's me. Aim at the escort vessel. So this is stuff we would not see entirely correctly.
This was all like just blue and white screens.
This bit worked.
Yeah.
The Cladarasas... Ha! They used a proton cannon. Wow, this is for me.
Lord Masala, we're defenseless without the escort vessel. We should retreat.
That used to be me, but I guess it's no longer me because I was adjusting my earphone.
It could be a different soldier. There's like 4 of them.
What use would a retreat have at this point? The game is just about to begin.
Ominous.
Floating head is just so weird.
It's really funny.
It seems his tone came earlier than expected.
Look for Masala!
And this emulator blows things so big. And we don't know if that is how it actually played on the real hardware.
Player son, I'm scared.
I really like the way they use stuff in the foreground.
Yeah.
I wish it looked better, but
Yeah,
it honestly probably did look like that on hardware.
yeah. What? They've infiltrated the ship? You useless soldiers. I'm very Robin Hood with a Gatling gun. Who are you? Who is it?
So you are Masala, a monster, just as the rumors say.
Hey, none of this anti-Gidgeon rhetoric.
I think Gallon might be racist.
And you are Gallon.
Surrender yourself, or do you prefer to be shot down by this proton gun?
Shh!
The game is over. We're going to take you as a prisoner. Bastard! Galen! I've come to join the fight! Poco, get back!
Gotcha! Wow, we had no idea this happened because all we could see was the background.
Poco, hurry! You've got to escape! Galen? Ah, Galen!
Poco has learned the meaning of death. Indeed, the game is over. For you. Thanks to you. I'm saved, little boy. Now let me... What? Pino? Why is Pino here? You little fuck.
Poco, watch out!
Nice!
Galen-san!
Retreat!
Oh, so this isn't an empty ship.
Galen! It's all my fault! I'm sorry! Ah! Kinda is his fault.
Don't cry, Poco. You're a man, aren't you? You won't die from such a minor wound.
It's like 11.
Everyone, look. The flames of victory.
Galen-san!
Yeah, something's approaching. What is that? I can sense the heart of a Gijin from Corlo Island.
Oh!
Hmm.
That damn revolution group. I'll show them what one gets for underestimating the Siliconians. Gijin number 46.
Roger.
I forget which one. Is 46 one of the ones from
Yeah, I
original
don't
J?
remember.
Attack the island, but don't destroy it yet.
Roger.
Shh. Its aim needs a few tweaks. Let's try this again. Aim at the center of the island.
Roger.
It's the one that gave. Stop that!
Huh?
You're a Gijin from Corlo Island, right? I can tell. And you know me, don't you remember?
Corlo Island? Who are you?
I'm Josette, a Gijin made by Dr. Geppetto, just as you are.
Josette? Corlo? Doctor! Josette!
You remembered it.
Who are you talking to?
Josette, I'm so glad to see that you're alive.
Say, what happened to you?
Lots of Siliconian soldiers came to Corlo Island. They took all of the island's Gijin with them,
That can't be.
and then they brought us to this gigantic castle. They disassembled my body piece by piece, and when I came to my senses, again, I already looked like this.
And so you were remodeled? That's cruel.
Josette, I don't want to do anything bad. Help me.
Number 46, don't give up. Try to remember the words the doctor always said.
The words the doctor said.
What are you doing? Didn't you hear my orders? Keep changing what type of voice he has. It's hard to remember.
He sounds like
What's
a jerk.
wrong, you piece of junk?
Even when being hurt by a human, a Gaijin must never hurt a human, 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 must never hurt a human.
Somebody's saying 46 was the one who gave you advice.
Oh no, oh no.
That is brutal. How could this happen? Franken! Samson Mark. Please, wait, which person is saying please forgive me? I'm not
Someone's
sure.
saying please forgive me.
A defect. Who's gonna be the Siliconian?
I'll be the Emperor, you be Fraken.
Okay.
A defect you can't trace? That's not like you, Fraken.
I'll retrieve the unit at once and search for the cause of the malfunction.
That's good. There's no need for that.
Eh?
If it were to fall in the hands of the Revolution Group, then it would be a bit of a threat even to us. Destroy it.
But if we blow up that place, it would take down Blue Land as well. There's a high possibility of the Gijin girl with the J being on that island. Also, Officer Masala is inside the Gijin soldier.
Am I not being clear enough? Destroy it!
Sir. Understood. Damn, I can't get out of this junk.
Self-destruction mode activated. Say what? That could just be anyone.
I think-
Josette,
What is it?
it's time to say goodbye.
Eh? What are you talking about?
I am about to produce an explosion of lethal force. That's why you and the people from the island should escape somewhere far.
Number 46!
Hurry!
Number 46!
What? Is that true? We have to inform the people from the island. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Josette. Thank you for reminding me of the days on Corlo Island. Farewell.
No!
Oh, they left you.
Oh my god.
Number 46!
God, this is even darker than we thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Look at that. So that's the island getting nuked.
Jeez. Oni-chan! Ah!
Apparently, Gijin are very lightweight.
Tune in next time. Yeah, top one. One. One-chan! One-chan, are you alright?
Bird gone. Everyone gone. Where? This? Why am here?
You're okay, I'm so glad. Honey-chan, we were thrown off the ship by that huge explosion. Seems we were lucky enough to drift to this island, though. But I haven't seen any of the others yet. Honey-chan, where are we?
Who are you? Who am I?
Huh? Honey-chan? Honey-chan's become weird!
I love that line.
Sweetie, Big Sister was always weird. Someone is calling.
But how do you gamify an existential crisis?
Huh? Honey-chan, wait for me! That building is amazing! Honey-chan, what could that be?
Who are you?
Honey-chan, where are you going? That's a dead end!
Someone is calling.
Huh? The ocarina. Listen, player, you must now directly control this Gijin girl. Huh? One-chan, did you just say something? Player, this girl is currently suffering from trauma and has forgotten all of her past experiences. In order to return her to her former self, you will be put under a test that will evaluate how much you understand her. Walk through the ruins and answer the 20 questions she'll ask you, and you may just end up finding the true Josette. For the time being, player's will and Josette's body shall become one. So then, player, go, embark on the journey to find Josette's memories.
So I'm realizing this is partially just so because they don't have Bode in this section.
Yeah. Oh, wait. One-chan! We should let Christine play this bit.
Yeah.
Do you think the transparency was supposed to be like this?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think so.
You could see.
You'll get signs in a moment.
Oh no, we're not gonna have the cheat we had because of an error with the other emulator.
Well, that's true. Yeah, this was like really flickery in the other emulator.
When we toned, so you could often see things.
There's a problem where there's nothing distinctive in this.
Yeah, it is a big problem, actually.
Oh, I think I heard the sound.
I think, yeah.
Keep going past
Keep going that way. I think I hear something.
Yeah.
Josette is a girl that is not good at greeting people. Say no?
No.
No.
Josette won the first place in the Miss Contest at the Sea God Festival.
No,
No.
she got second.
I wonder if we had certain stats if you can actually get first place.
I don't know. You can hear the giggling when you're close, so.
Yeah.
No congratulations yet.
Josette is an excellent cook.
True.
True. Somebody's saying the giggling is directional audio, so I will maybe throw on a second.
That might... It definitely wasn't working last week like that.
Josette loves Player Song.
True.
Josette obtained the title of King of the Fishermen.
No, we did not.
Which way is it?
I couldn't... I think it's down that way. I back up and go through that other one. Oh, I may have the directions wrong way around. Oh, these headphones don't say which one's which. Great.
Josette is the mysterious ace pilot which the Siliconians fear so much.
That is not true.
Not true. We did not... We killed a bunch of them, but not enough to
We're
get
not
her
willing
here.
to play the mini games that much.
You had to play them a lot. I'm really glad we changed back to the cream breast before this segment.
I think I might have just changed you to it.
Mm.
That's the entrance. So, we found out in between last stream, this one, there was a version of this that was put out on iOS in 2010
Really?
for like iPhones, but it was split into two parts. One of which is the bit that we're playing now, which was its own separate purchase.
That is wild. What language was it in?
Just in Japanese.
Yeah, it was just in Japanese. Yeah, they basically put this whole like mostly story with a few mini games section as its own game. So it's like sort of $7 for one, $7 for the other.
I guess it might have actually been like as much work to do this part as the entire first half, because like...
No, I mean, they already had the maze engine. Josette did the impossible and won the submarine race.
False.
False.
Man, we're just going over all our failures here.
Yeah. It's important she understand her failures and her limits. I think they did it because they just didn't think they could sell it for $14.
That could be it.
But did think they could sell it for two $7 things.
Like, okay, so this is probably reusing the mine engine, but there's so much one-off stuff in this entire section.
Yeah, but they still could have just priced the whole thing for $14.
Yeah. It's also a little bit weird to be selling J2 without J1.
J1 had already been done.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, J1 was done by Enix, and then when Square Enix became Square Enix, they published J2.
That's
And
weird.
it looks like they did,
Josette has created a complete role-playing adventure scenario.
this is true.
Wait, what?
You missed that.
You missed that one. She made a twine. She literally made a choose-your-own-adventure game.
Well, wasn't expecting that
And had
one.
us play it. We don't know how well it sold. It's very hard to find information about this. I basically read a translation of a Japanese article. And it sounds like they may have done some additional animation for it.
Wait, oh, huh, we are gonna...
And
Which
possibly...
way?
Oh, sorry, I didn't... I think straight ahead. It sounds like it's coming from both speakers to me. That way. Straight ahead. Or I could be wrong.
Is directional audio
No, we're still
ever
hearing the
interesting?
Eagles. Josette has done fortune telling.
False. We needed to buy an item that costs 50,000 Quarlos.
Wow! For that much, it better actually tell the future.
We don't know, because we didn't get 50,000 Quarlos in practice for using a crystal ball.
We got like 30,000.
Yeah, we could have done it. So, there's some stuff talking about redrawn art in the article I was reading, but it wasn't clear if they just did that because the aspect ratio was so different on the phone. And so they had to redraw some stuff for that.
Yeah, directional audio on an N64 game is bonkers. I didn't have a stereo TV when I had an N64.
This game is doing so much just
Metal Gear
out there
also
stuff.
did that around the same time.
Interesting coincidence.
Or at least same generation of hardware.
Josette had the dream. Imagine taking a treasure.
True.
Yes.
Who's Givro?
The studio.
Yeah.
You've answered all the questions on this floor. Go to the warp zone to reach the upper floor and prepare to answer another 10 questions.
On the bright side, there's no question what the warp zone is.
If you're having trouble with sound, try watching the stream in Source. Something weird seems to be happening on Twitch's end.
Also, I gotta say, as far as mazes go, this is even worse than the one in that Bungie game we're playing.
Yeah.
This is just...
I think this floor is less awful than the last one, but
There's
that's
no
not
distinctive
saying
features at all.
None.
Yeah,
This is
no,
impossible, too.
It's weird because they built a 3D engine capable of quite a few things, and they used it for these unbelievably boring box.
So this was a tech demo for the game that they were going to make after this.
Oh god.
That was what they were...
Are you sure that's the case?
That's what Wikipedia says.
Okay. Because that's not the game we made after this.
Josette found the Magiteca treasure past.
True.
True.
There is one game that they made after this before going under, and it is a Saturn game that Miguel was describing that sounded really weird.
And it was made with some other companies. It was sort of like a co-production thing.
Yeah, so we're really curious about that now, but also it sounds nearly impossible to play.
At least until someone does a fan translation like this had.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was saying...
What direction was that?
Oh, sorry. I keep taking my thing out to say thing, do commentary, and then... that way.
Oh, it's louder?
Straight ahead. That way, I think. That way.
Huh.
It worked.
Josette found the Magiteca treasure future.
True.
We did. These are all things that you found searching in a sunken city beneath the island in your submarine. I think it was that way.
I like the general concept of this, like controlling Josette to find her memory as well.
Yeah.
But like
It's not fun at all.
All the maze stuff is not great.
the maze stuff sucks. Josette now understands happiness, a Magitecan treasure.
This is true. So we already know this, the Magitecans are dinosaurs who could control not just objects, but also objects that were emotions and abstract concepts.
But then the second half of the book about them was blank,
Yeah,
so she never found out what happened to them.
which we will find out, fam.
Also,
Oh boy.
yeah, the further you get into this, the more it actually appears to be in Chrono Trigger chronology. Continuity, whatever. Yeah, I love the ambition of what they're doing here. You're going through like a psychedelic like mindscape of the main character confronting herself in dark hallways.
It's good, but it's
That's
not actually
great.
psychedelic enough.
It's not psychedelic enough, and they don't. This
Like
music,
the whole facing yourself bit is good, but it
this
needs
music
more.
doesn't. I think that they meant it to sound really emotional and spooky, but it doesn't quite to me.
Oh, you were moving when you did
Yeah.
that, so I don't know.
Oh wait.
That way. That way.
Josette found a treasure in the proton mine.
True. We found a lot of
Y'all
treasure.
really went to the proton mine?
Yeah, we did the
Yeah.
whole proton mine.
All of it.
Damn.
It felt very undercooked.
Extremely. It was.
It definitely seems like something where they had stuff cut due to time.
There was a they had actually a really interesting, not really interesting, but they had a somewhat interesting puzzle, whereby the entire top the top floor appeared to be like a very small section, but there was a way to break into a back area that was enormous and contained nothing at all. It was like the only thing to find in the entire mine was like in the third floor in a corner somewhere, and that was it. Like there was no reason to even visit the third floor or to solve the
I
puzzle.
think that way.
Can we change the summary to say use source audio?
I'm sure people in chat can
Yeah.
help out with that. The movie Josette starred in wasn't all that popular.
False.
Oh, it actually got seen?
Yeah, we were a big deal.
Yeah.
It got seen and then the fascists came in and shut it down.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you were there for that.
I thought it got shut down before we saw it. But, okay.
But yeah, what Faux Rin is saying, it really seemed like the point of the mine was it was like, this is a horrible, of this era 3D maze, but when you solve it, there's something that happens at the end. But nothing happened except that...
We found a treasure box and opened it and got the achievement for it.
And it was like $5,000, which is really not that much in this game's
It's
economy.
nothing.
That's as much as it costs to catch one tuna.
Josette now understands love.
True. Do you feel understood?
Only conceptually.
Can you take over for directional stuff so that I can... Because I want to talk a little bit about,
Let me
while
see
we
if-
have a chance to talk, about
Yeah.
some of the stuff that's different, or that may be different in the cell phone version.
Josette knows how to clean herself and take showers.
True.
We've been doing a good job on that front.
These are really weirdly arranged.
They are weirdly arranged, but if you think about it, they're all the achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's-
it's
but
just
like,
that's a pretty early achievement.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, it is. I don't know how much it's randomized, or if at all.
These feel like the same order we saw them in last time.
Yeah, but it could be that it's randomized per like seed.
Also,
Right, so-
I think they're being fairly generous with the randomization of what like the generation of the locations. Because like it's not just
It seemed like we were... Okay, hold on. It sounds like it's go forward. Take one more step forward. It doesn't sound...
The 10 questions before
I can't
fixed.
tell. It's
Okay.
going some direction. Nice. Maybe I'm not really getting stereo on these.
Josette is in love with Arnold.
True.
This just hasn't been as hard as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. Someone is saying that the Magitecan treasures are the circuits that powered Pinot, which is
Huh.
interesting.
I think that they say something to that effect later on in the cutscenes here. I mean, it's better that these questions are guessable because
Josette likes Poco.
True.
we made up. A bunch of answers are false in the early part.
Because they were achievements that we hadn't gotten.
Yeah, the thing is, if you get it wrong, you have to do this entire segment over back to the start of whatever floor you're on.
What?
And that's brutal.
Jesus Christ.
We
Yeah.
fortunately, the first time we
Which
went...
way?
I think forward.
Um,
I'm not certain I'm getting any directional audio on this. Maybe go back, because this is not...
the entire sequence, you get booted from the maze, so even maybe...
What?
I assume the reason there's 2 floors is that you get a...
Oh, that's awful.
It's really I mean, if this were interesting at all, or if there were even a mechanic of it, nothing. If there were even, like, one... Oh, that's interesting.
Josette has a mechanical body, but her heart is human.
True.
I'm my old self once more. So let's go back to reality.
Okay, so quickly, the mobile version, the articles I read said that there was new animation in it, but it's unclear whether that was to fit the aspect ratio or something where they actually added new animations to the game. Because they also said that there was possibly more conversations, but again, it's unclear from the article translation whether it's more translations or just even this one has 6,000 conversations possible.
That's a lot, but it doesn't really seem inconsistent with what we've seen in
Yeah,
this.
no. Given the amount of like little hidden weird things.
It also explains why this game wasn't localized.
Also, conversations could mean, like, dialogue boxes or something.
It's possible that they were like again.
It can't be. There can't only be 6,000 lines of dialogue in this.
Okay.
No.
You would have a better sense of what that looks like, given the types of games you make.
Well, I just mean, like, the average conversation is somewhere between 10 to 20 lines, I'd say. So, like, do 6,000 divided by,
Yeah, even by 1997, unless you were... Oh, wow.
Remember, in Japanese, like, heart often means soul. Like, they're, you know...
Yeah.
I mean, same way we do in English.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen.
Eh? What? Why have I come back to Corlo Forest?
Welcome back, Josette.
Doctor!
What is it with you? Making such a surprised face and all.
But the doctor died, didn't he?
Me dead? Now, even if you're just joking around, please don't say such things. Oh, I know, Josette, you must have had a really bad nightmare. If that's so, just forget about it and let's go home, shall we?
But Player-san is...
Player-san? Pardon me, who is that person? Let's go home now, Josette.
Someone needs to cosplay as her and
What's
just
wrong,
run up to
Josette?
people and make faces.
It's not right. It's simply not right. You're not the real doctor. Even if...
Josette, why are you hesitating?
Stop, please. Just stop. Don't confuse me anymore. Doctor, I'm sorry. I won't go back with you. Because I'm now living... I'm living with Player-san.
...
As the old folks used to say.
Doctor, I'm sorry.
Josette.
Doctor.
Go back then.
Doctor! Doctor!
That must have been hard for you, girl. But you won a battle against yourself. You overcame a shadow cast by your heart.
Yeah.
This is normal. Good job reaching this place.
Who are you?
Who are you, fam? Let's first have that crybaby join us. Magiteca! Ah! Huh? One-chan? It's a ghost! Ghost? Calling me a ghost would be an exaggeration, I think. Ha! Welcome to the land of Magiteca, chosen of the J. My name is Fam Wizard. I've been this place's protector for 3,000 years now.
Okay, so quickly, this character, Fam, is the farmer in Wonder Project J1.
3,000? Who just like weirdly pops up in the window whenever you sell.
And had a really weird sprite, which now we know is because he's this
Mm-hmm.
creep.
So you are a ghost after all.
San, would you please tell us what's going on here?
Fam, what's good? Right. To do that, we'll have to go back 3 million years in time. First 3,000, now it's 3 million?
Time to go full Seaman.
The first Metal Gears were in ancient Egypt. 3 million years ago, 2 important evolutions occurred. One was the birth of the human race, who evolved from the ape man. The other was the birth of the Magiteca race, my ancestors. They evolved from the dinosaurs. Both races possessed previously unknown traits, intelligence and heart. The Magitecans developed both abilities equally and built quite a rich culture. The development of the humans, however, was one-sided. While their intelligence grew more and more, their heart stopped evolving altogether.
Bunch of jerks.
That made the humans prone to repeat foolish mistakes over and over again. Kind of like playing it with. Unable to watch this go on any longer, the Magitecans came up with a plan. By handling the humans a certain material, they hoped further growth of the heart would be stimulated. The Magitecans named this plan after the name of the material. It was called the Project J. Project J was a success. The hearts of humans started to develop once more, and their culture flourished. However,
What if instead of ancient aliens, ancient dinosaurs?
this didn't last long as the humans began to make mistakes, just as before.
Wonder Boy's a jerk.
They used the J to further feed the greed within their hearts. And then, driven by their greedy hearts, the human race destroyed itself. Several hundreds of years later, the few remainders of the human race built a new culture, but the legend of the J was still in their heads, and once again, people lusting to abuse the powers of the J started to appear.
We warned you about this.
I entrusted the remaining J with a certain human. This person's name was Geppetto Lamarck. We confined the J with an Egyptian boy called Pino. We hoped this Egyptian boy would become the savior of human hearts. Pino lived up to our expectations. All people he came in contact with went through some manner of change of heart. But there were also other moments. By the hand of the evil-hearted Gijin Masala, Pino was destroyed. Pino died, leaving the J behind. His soul, however, became eternal. He continued to exist within the hearts of people. But even after that, Geppetto didn't give up on the J experiment. So here's Josette in a plug suit. Continuing for the sake of all people and for the deceased Pinot. Putting his final strength into it, he created a single Gijan girl. That Gijan girl was you, Josette.
Yeah, for the person in chat who missed a few weeks, me too, and I can't help you.
Things just moved really quickly toward the end.
This escalated.
And then a reincarnation of Pinot was born. That crybaby over there, Prince Pinot. And in order to camouflage the J material, the doctor made that ocarina. Is that thing active? It's not active right now, and it won't be as long as it's not inside of Josette's body. The doctor made it so in order to have more control over the J. However, if there's a strong source of energy close to her, it might be activated. At any rate, you two were born with the purpose of advancing the evolution of the human heart. You could say that it's your fate to cause instrumentality. Fate? While we were explaining all this, it became nighttime.
I was born to help advance the evolution of the human heart. I can't believe it.
Help me!
Huh?
Somebody help me!
That's Arnold's voice. Player son, Arnold needs a bird. Talking with Player son is impossible right now.
Girl, if you're in trouble, come over to the J spot.
Well, I'm out.
And that's what the J spot looks like.
It was a good run, everyone. Here, perhaps? Josette, unfortunately, has not learned how to...
Over here. You're the one who called me, right?
Or is that Josette saying?
I don't even know.
Who are
Josette.
you?
I'm the eye that watches over the J. I does come before J. The eye that watches over you, holder of the J.
The eye that watches over me? Are you God?
I'm no god. I'm an eye that watches over and helps out you and the J.
Oh yeah, she kept asking about...
Yeah. Toward the end, we...
Mr. Eye of the J. If you're here to help me, then please listen to me. There's this person named Arnold needing my help, but I don't know what to do. I'd like to consult Player-san about it. Bird is not here. What am I supposed to do?
Girl, is this person important to you?
Huh?
What is it?
Your question. I don't really know the answer myself. But my heart won't calm down when I think about him. My heart becomes sad.
Eye of the J got nothing.
Very well. That person, you should go see him. The feelings that person holds for you are the same as yours for him. Magiteca! This look familiar?
Oh? Where is this?
Help me!
Arnold! Are you okay?
Thank you for saving me. I'm fine.
Arnold, what happened to the people from Blue Land?
Sorry, but I don't remember anything that happened after the explosion. The only thing I remember is that I heard this voice. The voice of a girl screaming, "No!" And then I came to my senses and woke up wondering why I was lying down. Felt as I had been beaten around by some kind of energy. By the way, Josette, how did you get here? Could it be?
That's right. Something weird happened to me too.
So you too?
Oh wow, I love the ocean.
Yeah.
Shit!
The Gidgeon girl. I found her at last. Well, what do we have here? A companion of the traitor? Governor General?
Governor General? Arnold, you...
You shouldn't keep the Siliconian Majesty waiting.
Thus concludes another episode of Wonder Project K2.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, so
This one?
Yep, save it.
toward the end of the last game, trying to solve a puzzle, we taught Josette to believe in God, and we felt really guilty about this, but now it turns out, fuck, there's like a fucking eye in a wall watching her. Arnold, of all people, why did you betray me? You, the orphan, wasn't it I who raised you and recognized your prodigy abilities?
So much sudden backstory for people that like they had no knowledge of before.
Yet you decided to join with that treacherous Governor General. Why? Oh, so you raised me out of kindness, the poor boy without relatives. Ha! Don't make me laugh. Killing my father and mother, destroying my country, the one person responsible for making me an orphan was you!
You little... How dare you speak to the Majesty like that?
Since that day, I've had a single goal in my mind, which was that of getting revenge on you damn Siliconians! I thought of many ways to extract my revenge, and the best method I came up with was this: gaining your favor and crushing the Siliconian Empire from within. It went surprisingly well. Even though you're abominable, your trust came easily to me. And as a bonus, had Governor General got your trust as well. So even someone like you has a heart that believes in people. Ha!
Shut up.
Arnold, I'm disappointed in you.
Hey, remember when this is a game about raising a girl and a bird teaching her how to cook?
Soldier! Execute him!
Arnold?
Girl, take a good look. This is what happens to those who oppose us. Do it.
Stop! If you don't, I'll use the J.
What?
Yokarina rare around my neck is the J you people have been looking for.
What? That is the J?
Don't come any closer. Your Majesty, I'm sure you've heard rumors regarding the power of the J. Please, let me and Arnold go. Otherwise, I'll use the J and you'll be wiped from the face of this planet.
Huh. Do you think such a ridiculous threat will work on me?
I understand. Goodbye, Majesty.
Wait. Fröken, release them.
Good comment. Banana throne.
Ring, 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 ring.
I remember now. Your Majesty. A kitchen is not capable of using the J unless it's contained within its body.
What? It was just an act then? So the little Asian girl thinks she's good enough to compete with me? I have to admit that she's quite a piece of work. After her, fast!
Arnold!
Josette, leave me behind. Your escape is the priority now.
But...
If you and the J fall into the hands of the Siliconians, then the world is surely doomed. Run! Hurry! Player.
Arnold just loves lying on the ground, is someone's comment.
Your eyes and Josette's eyes shall now become one. Escape to the upper floor, and don't let the soldiers catch you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this part sucks.
Oh.
It sucks, but it is also kind of one of the more interesting uses of the
Yeah.
3D thing that
Well,
they've done.
the problem is it's too unforgiving.
The green tells you which way
Yeah.
you want to go, so keep going forward. Oh, no, back. Go down one of the side
Remember,
things.
remember that pressing behind is a quick turnaround.
Okay.
Yeah, this is way better than on the other emulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually there's actually some strategy to this. The problem is that there's also a certain amount of randomness.
This is the problem is
Also, you can get caught in the corner.
yeah,
You can get hit on the corners. You can lose due to pure randomness, and also
it's not pure randomness. It's all set. You have to.
okay, but it is well. You can lose due to things that were happening out of your sight. Like it's possible
Yeah.
for the game to just put you
Ugh.
in like
I keep getting caught in these corners.
Yeah, no. The fact that they made it fully free roaming, like we also had this problem in the other.
Yeah, why isn't it locked to...
It's also really hard because the
Like, no other maze exploration game does this.
when it's
no,
free when it's
very
free
weird.
roaming, it's really hard to judge distances. So we
Yeah,
were
it was
like
really
kind
hard
of
to
Yeah.
map the mines.
Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a problem.
Like, if it was just like SMT style, it'd be fine. Or, you know, like that type of...
Yeah. Yeah, the problem with this is that you can lose due to things that really you couldn't avoid, and when that happens, you have to start
Okay,
over from
this
the
keeps happening.
beginning.
The things that they're actually doing, like they're definitely doing some cheating on the enemies in a good way, like
Yeah.
make it easier for you.
It might be that
Definitely.
it's actually.
I think this
to-
keeps... Yeah.
It might be that they noticed that the players were getting caught on corners, and instead of fixing the problem, they just added something to.
Well, I think the thing where, like, you know which direction you're going in, but suddenly there's an enemy coming from that direction, so you have to go around. That's good. That's
Yeah,
fun.
no.
That's pretty good.
And they lean more and more into that where you've got to be leading them around a certain
Yeah.
Oh,
puzzle.
god.
Once they start-
And they start to do it too much.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It gets interesting once there's actually like more than one.
Oh, he disappeared. Okay.
Huh.
He must have ran past. See, they're stupid in good ways a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Like, they're
that's
actually
good.
doing some cheating to make this exciting but not unfair.
They also
It is a hard challenge.
they
too.
also didn't indicate the green light like exit signs aren't telegraphed, so it took us a little bit to figure that out. So that's actually kind of cool, right? That's like it makes sense. It's not like, oh, this is a mechanic. It's like, well, they marked the exit. This is a building and the exits are marked.
I feel like this is the best use that they make of
Yeah.
of the first-person 3D. It still has all sorts of issues.
It's the first. It's
Oh,
the,
no.
It's the only thing in the first-person 3D that feels like a mechanic at all.
Yeah,
it
I
feels
think
like
they despawn them after a certain point, which is like not bad. Although in that case, it felt a little.
despawn them
Oh,
or they run
no?
them past. Some
That guy
have two
had
sets
to have
of doors.
despawned because he was following me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this floor.
Nice.
This is so much
How
better
many
when it's not.
floors?
Seven.
God.
This is so much better when it's not flashing all the time.
Yeah, we had a problem where the camera was slightly in behind Josette's sprite, which is still
God.
actually being rendered.
That was awful.
Oh,
Ah. No.
no. Oh.
Ah.
Let's turn back time. Magiteca! I don't think.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, try using the back to turn around when you need to turn around.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was actually having some fun playing this, but the combination of the full screen
This
flashing,
is not
it
fun.
being
I'm not
3
enjoying
a.m.
this as an input method.
Yeah, the worst part is that you've got digital controls that you must control with an analog stick.
Yep.
And then the fact that they don't just snap you to the middle. And they make those columns collidable and the doors
Yeah,
collidable.
it's right. Both this
Oh,
and
the columns collidable?
I'm not. Maybe they aren't.
I don't think
they are.
But it's real. But the doors, the edges of the doors are collidable, which is horrible. Why would you do that?
Yeah, we got stuck going through
Yep.
the
that
elevator.
was how I died.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like, this game has so much stuff. Like, I want to show this to people. I want to like let people know about this bizarre thing that did so many cool things. But it's kind of like I don't really want to like bring it back. I want
Oh,
no.
God, not again.
I want to like bring this back with some bug fixes, or possibly any mechanics at all in the mines.
I feel like it's quite possible these things got fixed in the iOS version.
God, I
Because
hope
of
so. Like, the
and
entire
But it's
game.
also like I
Especially if
wonder
this is the
like
entire game.
I feel like if you're coming back and trying to redo this, you would just feel an urge to redo everything. And so I'm like, I'd be really
Well,
curious.
this was a Square Enix mobile release, and those are incredibly bad, so
Yeah.
possibly
So,
the
like,
not.
screens I've seen look good.
So Christine's
Um,
been playing Link's Awakening for the Switch, and it's kind of like I'm finding it really interesting because this game, like the Link's Awakening remake, is just like perfect. Like a lot of the time, I'm
Yeah, he
afraid
stood
about.
before he
Yeah.
hit it.
That's good.
And a lot of the time, I'm afraid about remakes because I'm like, well, what if they don't understand what's good in it? But the Link's Awakening remake really understands what was good about Link's Awakening.
And only changes the stuff that to like add charm that fits with the original,
Yeah.
which is really good.
And like, I feel like I was kind of thinking about like,
Fuck. I hate this.
I was kind of thinking about like the idea that like in order to be a good cook, you have to be a good eater. Like, I'm thinking of this Gordon Ramsay episode where he like just had a cook that just didn't seem to know good from bad, so he started taking him to good restaurants, trying to teach him like you have to have sense of taste before you can like you have to learn to taste before you can learn to cook. And it's kind of like a remake maybe has kind of a little bit of that sense of like you have to have enough good taste to know what is the stuff that you should be keeping and what's the stuff that you should be fixing up.
It seems like it would be. This seems like a game that would be easy to do that with.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly these 3D mini games that.
God, yeah.
And they often just need
I mean,
a little
I
bit
think
of
the
cleanup.
puzzles were a little bit. Oh, fine.
A little bit, but a lot of the puzzles, the proper framing would fix. A lot of the
Yeah,
things is we
or-
learned bad things from
Or a
when
little
the
more
Project
feedback.
J1, and so trying to play this one
That's
just
true.
like the first one messed us up.
But it's also kind of weird because, like, I wonder, like, if I like run through Project J1 as a game a little better.
Yeah,
But
I think I agree.
I don't feel certain if I tried to make Wonder Project J1 a remake, I am not certain I would be able to capture what were the good parts and what were the bad parts. Because it's kind of like...
Yeah, I definitely prefer this one as a game compared to the other one. It has a bit more jank, but I feel like it tries to do more interesting things.
It's also, there is something that's a little bit interesting about J2 and J1 having like such different approaches in terms of like everything you learned in the first game is like incorrect. But the problem is they don't signpost what you should be doing instead.
They do somewhat, and the problem is we don't have the manual, and this is from
Yeah.
an era where a lot of that could have been, like, I could definitely write a manual for this.
Oh my
that
God.
would-
Fuck! I think that's where the elevator is. Because otherwise I keep getting thrown back into a previous
Dude
room.
camping. Okay, can you come around from the other direction?
I guess there's another door through.
Yeah, I think that they don't despawn, so sometimes they run into foolish places.
I think there was despawn. There was a bit where like it could not have been.
Okay, there he goes. It would be really interesting if you were actually supposed to get his attention, lead him toward that other door, and then get him stuck there.
Yeah, there's no light pointing at that, so.
So again, just these, like, all identical corridors.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on.
Well,
like,
at least this has the lights.
yeah, the lights
That
are
helps.
the lights are a little better. If there were like chase sequences spread throughout the game equally, so that like you're learning and getting a little better at each time, it would be kind of interesting. But they're just like,
Oh,
Oh,
no,
fuck.
Oh, just go in, go into
Yep,
it.
yep. Ah!
try to imagine what that must have looked like in the real world. It's like, stop! Oh.
Yeah, the last floor is called the last floor, so this is not the last, this is the second last.
Oh,
I think there's 7 exactly. We died on the 7th.
Sucks.
We could try, next time you're in the elevator, I could try...
Okay, you can't get stuck on these things at least. Just the
Oh.
doors.
I don't want to trust the simulator.
But I could try taking a save spot. I don't know what the fast save spot button is, otherwise I could also just do that.
Yeah.
Is there another game with 3D labyrinth navigation on the Nintendo 64? I mean, there's Doom. Which is, like, unfortunate. Like, this is the kind of gameplay that I would have been really wowed by in 1993 on a
Right, and we
68K
all were.
Macintosh. But this is, by the time this is out, it's
Oh yeah,
contemporary.
these footsteps are not good.
It's funny because these are her footsteps normally, but
Yeah, it doesn't work in this sequence.
Yeah.
no.
It's cute when it's.
But there's like some much more impressive stuff happening on the N64 than this. Like, this feels like somebody's first 3D game that just wound up getting shipped because it was a minigame as part of something that wasn't meant to be a 3D game.
I think this very much was them, like, we will put in a bunch of
Yeah.
3D stuff to learn how to do 3D.
Yeah.
That is what.
And hey, we're on the
I read.
N64, let's take advantage of it. Like, this, not the... Like, their 2D engine is legitimately impressive. The
I
N64
really want to
is-
see what it looks like on hardware because there's some issues with
Yeah.
it that I suspect probably aren't there. It's just there's no N64 emulation designed for this because
Yeah.
It's
You
a
know.
weird game.
because there's nothing else like this. There's like we found like one other 2D game that
I'm really fast. A couple of times we've put this in wireframe mode, either like by accident or because we were trying to test other settings. And like,
followed.
the 2D segments are always...
I think that's just heading back to where you came from.
I think they had this idea of like, oh, the footsteps tell you you're being followed, but they had a better sense of how well you'd be able to read the directional audio. God, this is brutal. Also, I just want to say, Baseball 3000 was brutal.
Oh,
Fuck, yeah, I see it.
Baseball 2000 was a really good game.
Oh.
Better than this, frankly.
Too bad we could have gotten past there.
Yeah.
Okay. all the 3D bits in this, you couldn't make them great, but you could make them decent, where they were just sort of something that
At
broke
least
up.
make them better.
Yeah.
Something that, like, what the purpose of them was just to break up
Yeah.
the other gameplay. And I think that, like...
The fact that it's supposed to be a challenge, I feel like it's a mistake.
Yeah. Also, it's like I feel like this wouldn't be so bad if the reset behavior weren't so brutal.
Okay, that's the one distinguishing feature, and we passed it multiple times. This is killing me.
I don't know what the deal is with this level. The problem is, there's a difficulty spike around level 6, but levels 1 through
I know.
5 take forever. So you're like,
basically, the enemies have to stop for a moment, get ready, and then shoot their gun, and that's
It
where
has to
they
be
give
this
you a
way
little bit of
because-
time to get away when they stop to get ready to shoot their gun. Oh, there's someone who sells Wonder Project J translated cartridges.
Shit.
pretty cool.
Um,
Honestly, $50 for a Repo cartridge sounds not that wild. Since I'm sure it's like a low run.
yeah. If I had a N64, I would be tempted to pick up a
Yeah.
cartridge of this.
This is killing me. This is just miserable.
This is not great. Do it systematically. That makes
Okay,
sense.
I think I already did.
Ugh.
Thank God.
Yeah, I feel like if the mobile one was done by people who cared about the game, and oh,
Yes.
it looks like it was from the pictures I've seen. I could see. Oh
Nope. Fuck.
no.
I know. I know.
Okay, I'm gonna try to remember where we were.
Yeah, same.
Footsteps.
Like, all the music in this game is really good, except that, like, these two 3D segments have, like... I'm not sure the tone is exactly right. I guess this is sort of suspenseful. Suspenseful.
Oh my God.
Last floor,
Oh.
and they ramp up the number of...
People are pointing out
soldiers.
that there's a unfortunate thing of that repo having the fan translators.
Yeah. I don't.
Which is
Fuck. I will say it's not. Fuck.
Yeah.
oh
No.
this is where we got stuck on the last floor.
Like, how do you prevent that?
Nothing. That's just.
God, maybe next time we should just memorize the way to get out of 6.
Yeah, knocking you back to the beginning of the floor. Like, there's a lot of just little things that would make this.
I mean, it adds difficulty, but it's really not fun.
It's bad
Yeah.
difficulty.
I think they might have like felt like this part was too light on, like
Yeah.
gameplay
Yeah,
due
and
to
so
all
they
the
made
cutscenes.
the
which
gameplay harder, which was not really the right decision.
I think I would have rather had it be lopsided than like this bullshit.
There's a couple of things in this game that make me worry that they were worried that they had made a game that was too short. And so they just do
Which is weird,
stuff.
because it's not.
Yeah.
Like the amount that you have to play to get the fishing trophy, the aerial trophy, or just to get anything at all out of this segment is you had to catch so many fish, you had to shoot down so many planes.
Yeah, they definitely just threw in some grind for people who wanted to stick around in the game, but not in it. It's not really interesting grind because it's not really the main game.
Yeah. And like catching fish is interesting for a bit, but it's like I don't know. I guess I think the way I interacted with games when I was a kid, like I've got 2 games, and this game is giving me an excuse to just play the same segment over and over.
Yeah, no, like this game is not unique in that way.
Yeah.
Hey, Miguel, draw me a save state.
Okay.
But also, if you compare playing this over and over to, you know, playing the castle area in Mario 64 over and over, I know which one I would rather do. Save?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. So it's F5?
F5 and F7.
Okay, and F7.
Save and load. Okay. I don't like using save states, but man, this sucks.
Yeah, there's no point.
And I'm not having fun.
Yeah. It might be that, like, they couldn't... It might have been more interesting if it was, like, more forgiving, but also evading the soldiers was harder.
I actually really like the way that they have the soldiers have to stop for a moment.
Yeah,
That's good.
no, that's really good.
legitimately good. But also, like...
That's good in a bit of, like, unexpectedly more modern design.
But, like, let's
Wait, give me
say
another
that...
save point.
Okay.
Let's say that...
F5, right?
Yeah.
The pause lady is clearly Josette. But, like, so imagine that... The way that this works is that the soldiers are rare. You can't tell where they are ahead of time. And...
They do spawn in patterns, though.
Maybe.
You could memorize this from what I can tell.
I guess that's true. Maybe they're expecting you to make a map.
Definitely, I've noticed that.
But they also make it really hard to make a map because,
Well, you could pause. I don't know. I think any game that expects you to make a map on graph paper is already, like, stop thinking about your feelings.
I
This
kind
is
of
actually-
like that in
Except for
some
Entry and
games.
Odyssey.
this is
But
better than
no
the,
one else is actually thinking.
This is better than the mines because the mines you couldn't tell how far
Oh yeah,
apart
give me
things
another.
were.
Okay, I want to hit...
This is a hard one.
I've hit F5, hopefully that worked.
Malamut, we already faced God.
Yeah, God's got our back.
Unfortunately, all that God is giving us is a really crappy save state feature. Technology has done better than God.
I think, honestly, if they just made this the first 5 floors...
Yeah.
Because, like, I like the chase thing, I like this
It's
mechanic.
good as a story. Oh. Okay. Reload.
7.
Yep. Okay. Good.
See, I like this as a pacing thing. It's one of their better mini games until it starts being bullshit.
Yeah.
So how far did you get last time?
We got right where you got, and that was when I was like looking to see if there was any hints on how to do this better, and it was mostly like lead them back and around is the trick to these ones.
Yeah. But it was also it was also like we got to the final floor, and then the same thing happened, which is we got cornered from 2 sides, and like you don't have enough information to prevent that.
Yeah. So I'm noticing they have a technical issue where every time you go into the elevator and go down, there's a soldier running away from you, and I think that's the soldier that like was chasing you and got distracted because there's no such thing as a floor.
Yeah.
Oof.
So it's always the soldier sees you disappear, runs away, and then the map changes. So you can actually see him.
If you ran past.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
That's fun. Too bad you never see that.
Like, I don't know, Pac-Man is fun. Chase segments are fun, but like this as a first-person thing, it's
I like the first person.
Wait.
Like, when we first hit this until
Fuck!
we start getting stuck.
Oh.
It was exciting and fun, and like it was kind of neat the way it worked.
F7.
I actually
I just think it just needed to be shorter, and not like pull the final one is them making it too hard for what the amount of information.
We're not even on the final one. This is like...
I actually made a 3D game like this that was more fun than this. So I can... Like, I made like a 3D chase game and...
Nope, this is over.
Can you slip past them at the edges? Because I
I
did
don't
that
think so.
once.
I've been trying and I don't think it's possible.
The more time traveling we do, the more they...
Yeah, I just wish that they'd put a bit less of this in, because I like the idea of the chase. I think it's actually, like, I'd say one of their more effective mini-games until they start trying to do things that are just too hard in it.
Again, with the 20 questions, where it's like, conceptually it's really interesting, until it's not.
It's basically like there's like not enough meat on each of these things, but they try to like... I don't know my metaphor here, they get to the point where you're just gnawing on bones.
Yeah. Which is, again, very of that era, but it's frustrating because there's so much this game is doing that transcends its era. Hey, can you duck into that corner and he maybe runs past you?
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
I try and they just follow. Oh! No, I guess this time it...
Oh,
nope!
oh. Too soon.
No, I think it didn't work.
Is he running back to his...
I don't know if it's a bug that you're seeing, or whether it's just that that is what the spawn, like what that is the spawn state for coming out of that elevator.
Maybe they just hard-coded that because they thought it was interesting, but...
No, I mean, that I don't think is true.
Maybe they... yeah, you said spawns... I think he's always right there.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Like that.
I just don't know how to lose him.
That could be where that enemy spawns.
It's possible, but I think it's probably more likely that they just
and
don't
it's
have
running
a full...
away because it's
Jump on
running
the elevator.
towards where you would
Turn
be
around.
if you had started.
Nope.
Nope.
That's where you would start. It could be that it is running away because it's running towards where Josette would be normally in this level when you start it from the regular spot.
No, maybe.
Go right this time, maybe?
I've tried.
No? Okay.
I've tried everything.
Okay. We weren't having this much problem with 6th floor before.
Yeah, I don't... the possibility space here is not very big.
Is it possible that somehow going down the elevator messed it up?
I don't think so. We did that at least once.
Yeah, I did
Try
that
going a
before.
bit farther in, maybe? No. Okay, go.
I've run past
Okay.
it
Nope.
exactly
Nope.
once.
Oh.
Nope. Making a guess and it might not be the correct one. Okay, I think it was right. No.
Yes.
Oh!
Oh no, no, no!
I don't think there's something kind of bad. Okay.
Pause. F5.
Yeah. This was the hard one.
Yeah. It's like a hammer on the skull. Bang, 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 bang. Rubber hammer, that is. We seem to have established the Siliconian army as heavily people through conscripts, and some of them are not necessarily ideologically committed.
Yeah, that is actually canon. Ultimately, those are all genome soldiers and have enhanced eyesight.
The weird thing about this is, like, this whole final segment is really an escalation, but, like, it doesn't feel like it's, like, not like an out there escalation, right? It just feels like if you keep escalating along the lines the game was already escalating, because it was already about, like, asking weird, deep questions about how do you resist fascism, and, like, is it possible for someone to do good work within a fascist system, and, like, really weird, deep questions like that, and then, like, they just escalate from there to everyone's getting shot, and then they escalate from there to dinosaurs.
Let's talk about dinosaurs.
Yeah. Maybe that part. You figured this out before.
Yeah, but it took a long time. Nope. Well, alright. That's the thing that tells me I'm going the wrong way.
What is it that's telling you you're going the wrong way?
That panel, it's the only unique feature. Nope.
Oh, that's going in the right direction.
I think there's two behind you, so.
Well, I think we may have one then.
I think I'm starting to hear it. Oh my god. Ugh.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Last four.
This will probably take a couple tries.
Like, I don't know, they gave you a save point halfway through the 20 questions game. It's like, maybe this would have been so bad if they had just given us a reset at level 5. Instead of level 1.
And that's it.
Yes, let's tone back time by hitting F7. Also, is there a free USB slot for me?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no, I think I see one. Next time you dial, hit F7 and then find the keyboard.
I put it on the window
Yeah, I
sill.
just realized. I'm so sorry.
Eye of the J says, to experience the full functionality of your Logitech wireless mouse, we recommend installing Logitech Options software.
F7?
Yep.
Logitecha!
Oh,
This is awful.
I just wanted on the record that I yelled that just before Eon said it in chat. So we must have had that idea at the exact same moment.
I'll fight all of you. Then I'm gonna get fucked.
F7?
Yep.
So rough.
So I need to stop doing the same thing over and over again.
That would help. The reason
If only
this...
they just made a 3D shooter for this bit.
Oh, right? It's like she's murdered people before when she's driving an airplane. Heck, she's got the J. They could have her like blowing on her ocarina to stun people.
Yijin can't harm humans.
Chat is calling on us to eat the J.
It's probably bad.
So
If only Bode was here so we could tell her to eat the J.
they have like,
Cool.
you have to put it inside your body, but like, does putting the ocarina in your
Yeah,
mouth
could you just
display
blow on
it?
it? That really...
Like that sounds like it would be the reason of making it into a musical instrument.
Indeed.
Jeez. is, like, if the directional audio thing they had actually worked, then both this and the previous minigame would have been a lot more interesting.
It's possible it
Oh,
did
whoa.
work on actual hardware.
I
But it
doubt
probably
it.
didn't because, again,
Oh, wow.
Oh.
they really love this scene. They did this exact one in Wonder
Yeah.
Project J as well.
You're really talented at running away.
God
The
damn
game
right!
ends here.
Repeatedly.
Now be a good girl and hand me the J.
No way!
Don't get the wrong idea. We're gonna use the J to bring peace to the world. Now hand it over.
Bring peace to the world? That's a lie! It's more than obvious that you'll use the J for your sake only.
You have some very acid words for such a lowly Gidgeon. It doesn't matter how many humans you've affected, a Gidgeon will remain a Gidgeon only. Don't interfere with human business.
Only my body is Gichin. My heart is human.
Your heart is human. Don't make me laugh. Well, if you're so convinced of it, why don't you show us your human heart then? Let's see it.
Player-san, doctor. Eh?
Throwing herself down the platform? That's absurd. A Gidgeon sacrificing its own life? But that's against the core programming. I don't believe it. This is really bad. I love the little credit thing coming in.
We'll be right back.
Top bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That animation might not have worked out.
Gante. Well, well. I'm sure glad I took these engineering classes back in my days as a student. Josette's doing fine now.
Same crowd they've used in a bunch of other places.
Oh yeah.
Come,
Originally the theater.
show yourself.
Everyone. I'm sorry if I made you worry.
Josette!
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 The cat would meow. Josette, your body is back to what it used to be. I'm so glad.
I'm also really glad to see that everyone's alright.
But contact from the Gigson, this is more than overdue. But if they're all dead, we may have to hope for the guidance of Sedona Blue.
That's not the total god.
You're just like sailing around on an oil platform with a giant stone statue on it.
So many gods.
Say, Josette, what about my father?
We all got separated, but if even I made it, I'm sure Galen is alive somewhere as well.
Oof. Did you hear that, Mother? That's right. My father won't die that easily. Accomplishment learned to lie. Yeah. I see land! Oh my god.
Wait, the platform has floated to the weird, mysterious island?
Oni-chan, everyone!
Poco!
Oh.
So you're all alright? I was really worried. But seeing that you're all safe, I'm so glad!
Should we raise our kid to be this much of a crybaby?
Maybe, I don't know, I don't remember.
Shouldn't have hit him on the head so much. Josette, just what is this place?
And dinosaurs.
Yeah. Let me explain it to you.
Oh boy.
Fam.
Oh. Who are you?
Battle pose.
I'm Fam, the protector of this Magiteca island.
First, I need to teach you about dinosaurs.
You must all be tired from drifting around like that, so feel free to rest on this island. As much as you want. I welcome thee, people from the Blue Island. Which has now been blown up?
Player-san, is this all thanks to the goddess's guidance?
Or tides.
Or FAQs?
The people from the artificial island miraculously escaped the explosion. I was saved by the people from the island who coincidentally saw me drifting around. And now the stream has led the artificial island to this Magiteca island. Don't you think it's just too much of a coincidence? Sometimes I can sense it. This invisible force of some kind that seems to guide us.
But the technology you have here is simply amazing. At least 1,000 years ahead of us. This time it's 1,000 years?
Poco doesn't like time.
Or numbers.
Gante-san, that is your name, isn't it? If you'd like to study this technology, I'll explain as much as you want. For real?
Really good face.
Yeah. I like Poco's animations
I mean,
too.
well, would you really do it? Yes, please, I beg you. Oh, being so excited is really unusual for Gante. He looks just like a child. That's quite embarrassing. Oh. Ha ha ha. It's terrible! The Siliconians are here! Well, you're also really persistent. I told you there's no such girl here.
Stop telling us such barefaced lies. The Gijin Raider I made is accurate. We know that girl is on this island, so bring her out at once.
Yeah, Josette's been tracking radiation this whole time. Fusion radar? It's probably malfunctioning then. Maybe I should introduce you to Gante, a friend of mine who runs a fine repair shop.
You damn little... Do you want to die?
Oh, well, if you're so eager to do it, why don't you go ahead and try? I'm not afraid of you Siliconians anymore.
Man, when did he get so hard? I'm over here!
Eat the ocarina. Josette!
Fisher-san, you can stop now.
He has a name. It's Fisher-san.
Oh, it's Josette because she's got the J!
Josette, we haven't seen each other for something. I have a request.
I have a request. I'll do whatever you tell me. But in exchange, promise me you won't lay a hand on the people from the island.
Josette, that's pointless.
You shut up. Josette, I really admire you. What a fine Gidgeon you are. Not even a considerate human would ask something as noble as that. The girl and the islanders, take all of them back to the Siliconian Empire.
But you can't!
Wow, that is a lot of sprites.
What's going to happen to us now?
I like that the cats also
I'm
come
sorry.
along.
It's all my fault.
We don't know who's saying it, so...
Exactly. Oh my god.
Oh, Sailor Moon.
Pearl-san?
If you hadn't come to Blueland, this would have never happened. It's all your fault. Pearl?
Oh.
Pearl?
What a terrible thing to say. Another word and this fist lands in your dolled up face. Holy shit. Oh, you want to hit the mayor's daughter? Well, we'll see what happens to you if you do that. Stupid bitch! Holy shit.
You're too noisy. And you might be already asleep. What's going on here?
You arrived at a good time. I have a protest to register.
A protest?
Correct. Well, I mean, the only one you want is Josette, right? Then why do you have to take all of us along? We aren't related to this in any way. That's why you should release us.
I should release you? Who do you think you are to give me orders? What impertinence. Soldier!
Oh, God.
You called for me? This brat here has insulted me. Dispose of her.
Huh? But she's just a child.
Mm-hmm. Why are you hesitating? Isn't this what you're paid to do? Or are you disobeying my orders?
Don't do it. You'll regret it for sure. No, I'm not, sir. Eh?
Whoa!
Oh, fuck! Joseph!
Her face!
Don't worry. I'm alright. I need to know, is Pearl-san okay?
This wasn't my fault! No more being a soldier. I'm through with that. No more!
Magnificent. For a Gidgeon to behave so human-like. I'm starting to really look forward to remodeling her. The boat has other ideas. Looks like we've reached the Siliconian Empire.
People from Bruland, can you hear my voice? Whoa.
So much art.
If you will allow me to introduce myself, I'm Medusa Siliconian,
Is she a dinosaur? No.
13th ruler of the Siliconian Empire.
She just got hot.
Oh my god. But that's the Siliconian king? The king is a woman. Josette, people from Blueland, welcome to the Siliconian Empire. Let me tell you this up front. I won't negotiate with you. Or in other words, everything I say is to be taken as an order. Josette, you will become my personal servant. You are to obey me completely. One-chan. Why didn't I hear a reply? You know that there's no other choice. Josette, I think even like you can imagine what fate your friends would meet if you were to disobey my order. Josette, don't! That's right, obeying someone like her is totally out of question. Don't go, Josette!
Silence! The girl's about to decide. You shouldn't interfere.
Your Majesty, would you allow me to ask a question?
Go ahead.
You know how to wash and clean yourself.
Do you truly care about world peace?
That's a good question. Of course I care about it. However, for that to become reality, you need a unified world.
Why?
Josette, have you ever studied mankind's history? Humans are foolish creatures, and I don't exclude myself from that definition. Once I let loose, we soon lose sight of our goals and enter a path of destruction. Nonetheless, men continue to demand the existence of an ideal world. Why hasn't the ideal world been built yet, you ask myself? That's because the minds of the people from around the world haven't yet been united. What the world needs now are countries pursuing the same goals, regardless of their personal ideology. Without that, world peace is not possible. I'm just about to create a situation which will lead us to the creation of an ideal world. However, in order to do that, I have to use some brute force. Josette, some of that may sound plausible, but don't get tricked by her. Do you understand now, Josette? Looks like you still don't understand. Soldier! These people don't seem willing to open their eyes. Let's give them a hand. Understood.
Here goes the statue, I think. Yep.
Josette, did that open your eyes?
I'll go.
No, I don't want that, Oni-chan. You can't go. I don't want that.
What am I supposed to do?
Don't go, says mysterious voice.
Aha. Josette, don't go. I'm sorry. I've misunderstood you. Don't go, Josette. I can't say it very well, but Josette, I don't want to lose you. Don't go, Josette. Please don't go. Don't go. Josette, we all are your friends. Be it in this world or the next. Yeah, that's right. We're all your friends. Josette, we'll go with you. Whatever happens after this, we'll stay with you.
Worried cat.
Everyone.
What's wrong? Do you still not open your eyes?
I won't go. I'll stay here. Together with all the people I care for.
Whoa. That's a look.
It seems that you have underestimated me. I don't really need it. In the end, I don't really need the J. I much prefer to keep my Siliconian pride than having to rely on that stupid J. Even without you and the J, we Siliconians will achieve our goals! Soldier! Fire right into the middle of that throng of ignorance. The Lord Franken is still over here. Didn't you hear me? Fire. Yes, sir.
This is like their one plot beat that always works.
Eh? Your Majesty, just what are you? You've got to be kidding. Please help me.
Everyone, we're doing the right thing, aren't we?
Yeah!
I wonder why I don't feel any fear. I actually feel at ease.
Eat the J. Eat the J.
Player-san, Doctor, please, please, give us help.
Farewell!
Oh, energy near the J.
Yeah. Oh, I saw this coming.
Also, that was a really nice bit of art.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, just the cutting off of the audio. What? What's happening? Your Majesty, that blue light is pushing back the beam of our cannon. How can that be possible? Is that the power of the J? Most interesting. Soldier, raise the power output of the cannon.
Time for science.
That's it. I've reached my limit. Please, help me.
Those who dare to desecrate the J must to be punished. Oh my god.
Wow, good thing the vengeful god's on our side.
Ah! Oh, I apologize to anyone who's having trouble with this on the stream. Look, the Siliconian castle!
It's suffering from particle effects.
It's turning into confetti!
Blast the confetti right out of them. My god, it's bleeding confetti.
It vanished. Oni-chan, what happened to all the Siliconians?
I heard the voice of the eye.
Eh, what eye?
The red soul has been sentenced into eternal slumber by the blue light. When it becomes a white soul after the passing of many thousands of years, once again shall it walk the road of life. This is not death.
Josette, did we join a cult?
Where's Arnold?
Player-san, the Siliconian castle was completely destroyed after getting caught in the blue light of J. I still don't understand why the J suddenly became active. One thing's for sure, though. At that time, I could feel the presence of a tremendously strong heart. It was completely pure. Never before had I felt something like that.
This is very happy music for post-genocide.
So how's your arm feel?
Ah, it feels brand new. Thank you, Gante-san.
That's great, Oni-chan. You know, I had heard rumors about this ocarina. But the powers the J holds are truly beyond our imagination. Using it wrongly even once could completely destroy it, I'd estimate. Josette,
Yes?
I think it's better to be very careful in the way we handle the J from now on. Not even by accident should you think about using it for any purpose. Do you understand?
Yes.
But I want to eat it, so...
By the way, Josette, there's someone who wants to see you.
Hmm?
Hey!
Arnold! Arnold, you are safe.
Yeah, after I got separated from you, I was suddenly enveloped in light, and this mysterious voice spoke to me. You're an important person, it said, and before I could think I was on this island. It's as if I was guided here by someone.
I see. I'm really glad.
Huh. I knew who it was. I know who guided you. One-chan.
What is it, Poco?
Let's go back. Let's go back to Corlo Island.
Corlo Island? Yes, let's do that. At last, let's go home. Back to the place I grew up in. Corlo Island!
I see an island. Is it Corlo Island?
Eh?
Corlo Island?
How many twists is this game gonna have in its...
Damn it. Those Siliconian bastards. It's just too cruel. Everyone is gone. Father, Mother, the castle servants, the townsfolk, everyone. Father! Mother!
I can give him this one.
Ah!
I think that's a very reasonable reaction under the circumstances. Corlo Forest is...
What's that?
The light of the jays. Player-san, it looks like I didn't manage to come back to Corlo Forest. Although I couldn't return to the forest, I'm not sad because I have the memories of the days I spent together with the player-san.
Jeez.
This is strange. There seems to be something in my eyes. Player-san. I guess I really do want to go back to Corlo Forest. I'm sorry. Everyone. Dear Jay, please listen to me. For my last wish,
Ah! Look, the island is... A miracle! A miracle has happened! Miracle? It's unbelievable. There's something like this to happen. Huh. Could it be? Josette! Josette! Josette!
She took too much J.
What have you done? I told you not to. Not even my hands. I'll be able to fix this. One-chan.
Arnold, Poco,
Josette, you were the one who revived the island, right? You used the J, didn't you? One-chan, why? Why did you use the J? Was it because we were all so sad?
no. It was my selfish wish. I just wanted to go back to Corlo Forest one last time. That was my wish to the J. But because it was a wish only for me, it seems I got punished. I'm sorry.
Josette! Why do you tell such a lie?
Look. Corlo Forest. Isn't it beautiful?
One-chan? One-chan?
Crying fisherman.
One-chan, you... Idiot! No, I don't want this. Getting separated from One-chan like this. I absolutely don't want that. Poco. Let's all pray together. Let's pray for One-chan to be revived. Poco. With the miraculous power of the J, it should be somehow possible. Let's all pray.
Is the J Jesus?
Oh God.
Is this like secretly a weird like religious
right.
game?
We shouldn't give up so easily. Let us pray, and let's all believe that Josette will be revived. I mean, this is how like 80% of LJRPGs end.
It's true.
Yes, let's pray. Let's pray. Let us pray.
To the J.
Josette will definitely. Let's all believe she'll revive.
Ocarina of Christ.
God, let's all remain focused. With our hearts combined. With our hearts combined.
Meanwhile, on Dinosaur Island.
Bam! Yes. Looks like the day has finally come. Yes, at long last a new era is about to dawn for the humans. This also ends our mission. Fam. Yes? Thank you for being with me for all this time.
It's hard being an eye.
I have to thank you as well. As you depart on a journey to develop a new heart, take this blessing. Eh?
Reverse confetti.
Josette! One-chan!
Poco? Arnold? Everyone?
One-chan! Josette!
Ow. What happened to me? Ow. My body feels strange. Arnold, Poco, my body is...
She human?
Player-san, by some matter of mysterious force I was brought back to life, but not by the J, nor by another unseen miraculous power. With nowhere else to stay, the people from Blueland soon took Corlo as their home. At first they built a small village in Corlo Forest, and then, 6 months later...
If they drew a sprite of her with no joints in her arms, I'm going to be really surprised and impressed. Looks like you got pneumonia bloom there. So let's start the coronation ceremony of our new king. This way, your majesty.
He walks like a king.
Hooray, hooray!
Hooray! Long live Pino, our new king! Poco, I mean Pino, you look splendid!
King Pino Corlo, that sounds quite respectable, huh? And now the first words of the new king. Please wait.
Bird, everyone!
Starting the ceremony without us. That's dirty.
So you're all safe.
Huh, such a tiny... Oh, it's you. Ah!
Gallon-san!
Father!
Nowhere to run.
Sapphire, Karen. Father, you're still alive! Sorry for making you worry. With the fall of the Siliconian Empire, there's no more reason for me to fight. Gallon? Sapphire, Karen. Sorry for asking something so selfish. But could you call me father again? Father! Josette!
Michael, director!
I've heard rumors about this party, so I've come to celebrate with you. I'm so glad to be along such an excellent actress again. Director, why don't you use this island as a setting for our next movie? That's a good idea.
Oh, where's Champagne?
Standard coordination act.
Has one animation.
One-chan.
Clara-chan, Kurohige-sensei.
One-chan, I didn't know you wore red clothespins.
Clara-chan, your eyes.
Yes, that's correct. Clara has completely recovered from her illness. I was witness to her miraculous recovery. Suddenly her spirit just changed. It was as if she was reacting to someone's wish.
I'm so glad.
One-chan, I've seen it for the first time. The sky, isn't it incredibly vast? Yeah, that's right. The sky is something truly vast and amazing.
This is all auto-advancing, by the way, and it's way too quick. The sky. Has it always been that blue?
I like that they actually
Yeah.
did voice acting for that bit.
Wait, did she have joints in her arms in this last segment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The mana tree.
It was explicitly not the power of J. Which
I don't know how they'd know
The
that.
father of the Jay and the holy dinosaur. Wait, what? Giant letter?
Mario, I've come to invite you to the castle.
Dear Player Song,
Wait, no, it's Josette and Smash.
Oh god.
the journey in which we embarked, the three of us, Bird, Player Son, and I, is slowly drawing to a close. I was able to experience so many things. There were happy times, sad times, times of fear, and times where I laughed really hard. For me, who never understands anything, it was all just a series of embarrassments. But I still made it through all of that, and I could never think about giving up. Since Player Son was always watching so kindly over me. Player Son, I think I'm finally able to live alone. What does the future hold? To be sincere, I have no idea. But for Player Son, I think the least thing I can do is repay the favor. Goodbye, Player Son. And thank you. Not to disappoint Player Son's expectations, I'll give it my best to become a splendid Gaijin. Or rather, to become a wonderful human. I'll believe in the memories of Player Son. And I'll believe in tomorrow. From Josette, Player Son's daughter.
Karen, honest, Gante worker?
Sapphire honest, Fam wizard, Gallon honest, Pearl elegant.
I wonder if these names were maybe less literal in Japanese. Oh my fucking god.
Kitchen type F, Vader Harbin, announcer.
Legion number 46, Islanders, Siliconian the 13th. God. And you. Actually, literally.
It's true, player son.
Is a character, diegetically. So early on, Miguel was asking whether Lamarck was supposed to be a reference to Lamarckism, and I was like, nah, but I think Miguel was right, actually.
I think so.
Yeah. There's all that stuff about the evolution of the human race.
I like Josette's State Machine and System Programming are two different credits. Two different full-time jobs.
God.
Event systems program, object design. It is wild they basically were like, let's make a game, and then using the same engine, let's make an anime.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they had a good engine for it. They had a really good animation system.
it basically ends with like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, and also, like, it really is going back to, like, their roots of really weird mythology about the creation of...
It definitely
Like, it's on that Evo bullshit for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
trying to now like figure out like, wait, it was enough. Is there enough stuff that this is actually part of the Evo universe?
There's like the mermaid goddess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and there's also, like, the game they did before Evo, which was, like, also really into this level
Yeah.
of...
No, it was just interesting, sort of as a racing sim, also having weird shit like this. It's very similar to Seaman.
Yeah.
The pyramids. Was it aliens?
Or dinosaurs.
Tonight we find out.
My brain is I'm really stuck on, like, at the end, her wish brings back Corlo Forest and one blind girl's sight and leaves everyone who lived on Corlo Island dead?
Oh, there is like, this is some weird Old Testament god shit
Yeah.
going on in this.
Yeah.
And I guess part of that is,
seriously.
like, it's part of it. I think is, I mean, I guess they covered it, like she got punished for making the wrong wish.
Yeah.
Got
But also-
punished by one god for making the wrong wish, but then they disappeared and the prayers brought her back anyway. From...
Maybe it's just the total god is the one true god.
Or another.
This is a very confusing cosmology.
So a second god sacrificed itself, destroying itself to forgive her for the mistakes that the first god darned her for, and it's called J.
But the whole thing where basically it's like, oh, we just destroyed the Siliconians, but don't worry, there's reincarnation. Once they've worked off their like spiritual
But that
debt.
was, like-
They'll be back to ruin the world again.
But that was like weirdly.
Yeah, but once they have like gotten over
Yeah.
their stuff.
But that was like super eldritch. That was not the tone of anything else in the game. She was just like speaking some weird voice of like, the red soul has become blue, and it's like, I don't know. Like that's really like,
So
this is a
weird.
god you can't comprehend. Something like actually beyond human understanding is happening there.
That was not where I was expecting this game to go, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
with you.
no, I was like, okay, they're gonna sort of like do the same sort of overthrow the government at the
Yeah.
end. It'll
Yeah.
be like maybe half an hour to an hour. Instead,
Yeah. Like when they started, like, people started dying and they got up the giant robot. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is about what I was expecting. And then it just kept going and going and going.
and then it's like,
That's
hey,
the
guess
power of
what?
Jay.
The farmer.
Whoa.
Oh wow, nice.
Oh.
That's a really good ending screen.
Yeah.
Look at that! Can y'all see on the screen that, like, her clips have positive and negative terminal signs
Oh,
on
they
them?
do.
Oh. That is so cute.
If she's human anymore, I guess she doesn't need the power clips?
It's not clear if she's human or not.
I think they left it
Yeah.
intentionally ambiguous. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And a yellow flower. This is the start of another game. It's all happening again. God, this is pixel art. Okay,
Yeah.
you are the pixel art expert in the room. Can you name any other example, anywhere in the corpus of video games, of someone using pixel art to convey the notion of somebody struggling not to cry and failing?
I'm sure there's something, but like,
That was some
this
good.
is some of the like best pixel art of its era, and possibly some of the best pixel art in a game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that this is like hitting the era where, you know, like the boundary between pixel art and you know, traditional animation is.
This actually does a blend in a way that doesn't feel jarring.
There were actually
Most
like
of the time.
they paced themselves, but there were a few shots where they straight up drew an anime CG and stuck it in here.
Yep.
Which again is wild considering that like this is not what the N64 is good at. Like
I don't know. I think I'm convinced that this is what the N64 is good at. No one else took advantage of it.
So the thing, okay, so there were points where we turned on wireframe mode a couple of times while we were testing things, and if you look, the entire screen is made of a series of small polygons.
Yeah, obviously, and sometimes
what it makes me think they're doing is they're actually like, I think they're actually doing something like, they're either compositing things in the CPU and then blending them to like polygons one by one, or they actually like invented tile rendering early, like later GPUs like the iPhone 1 and like several of the like wireless VR sets right now do this thing where like they'll render the screen in GPU one little tile at a time. If they're like, I don't know, if they're like pre-inventing the power of VR GPU, my mind is blown. But like,
well, an interesting thing is I thought when we first watched those cutscenes and we were having the rendering errors, I thought they just weren't animating some of the later characters because they run out of money. Clearly they did not want money.
No, that was a ton of animation.
People's mouths were being back-sorted behind the sprites.
The whole time, any time that Franken spoke during last week's run, he just had the same facial expression always.
Which makes me think that they're not like doing something tile-based like that because they're being sorted. Unless you think the sorting error is happening.
Okay, so the thing that I'm wondering about is the GP. I don't know that much, but what I've read, the texture memory of the Nintendo 64 was really, really small. And I'm not sure you could fit some of these like full screen CGs that they're animating full screen. Tile-based rendering is a technique where on GPU, while rendering a single frame, you just tell the GPU, render this bit. So like all of the draw commands on the GPU that would make up this tile, you draw those. And then you move on to the next tile and you draw those. So you're letting the GPU do all the compositing and everything, but you're only doing it one little fragment at a time because the GPU has only so much memory. And that's why you do it. Like actually, like the device I'm developing my game for right now, which is a mobile device, uses this because it has apparently like not quite enough GPU memory for the enormous amount of stuff it has to push. And so it does this thing of when you tell it to render a scene, it will like queue up all the commands and it will run them one chunk at a time so that it doesn't run out of its high-speed memory. They wouldn't have like the auto tiler that like Qualcomm has.
The beam.
They wouldn't have they would not have the modern stuff that like Qualcomm has, but they might have done something like that. And as you mentioned, the fact that there's sorting problems with the mouth implies that whatever it is they're doing, it's not GPU-based compositing, because otherwise, whether it worked well or badly, wouldn't have been changed by whether or not we switched to actually one thing that would be really interesting is if we could turn on like the wireframe mode during those segments that were mixtures of 2D and 3D. Because then we might have seen something like how many layers are there of 2D, and that might have given us some hints of what they're doing. This is all speculation on my part, but I am very impressed with what they're doing.
This game does not have a large number of graphics programmers credited. Like it wasn't it wasn't exceptional.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that they're not doing anything that required a lot of people working full time.
That might be true.
It may just been that they were able to get things through pretty quickly, even if they weren't doing many things at a time. Because one thing that they did have the advantage of is they were not dealing with CD-ROMs. So they were not having to stream textures into that memory.
That's really interesting.
God,
I want to look.
So excessive that the amount of story stuff they put at the end,
it's gutsy.
Well, it's just interesting. They had some ideas about structure in the first half, and then they're clearly just willing to do whatever the fuck they want for the second.
Yeah. A little bit of what I'm wondering is if they maybe didn't intend for it to be structured like this originally, but then just something got out of... I don't know. When we first started playing the second half, I wondered if it was like, the first game was chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and it kept going and going.
Yeah.
And I wondered if maybe they were at some point planning on a chapter structure, but like, chapter 1, they just kept building this world until it was huge, and they're like, no, this is too big. We're just going to take all of our ideas for chapters 2 through 7 and compress them into one long movie.
I'm trying, like, how would you do the Wonder Project J storyline stuff in this segment? And they really aren't.
Yeah.
Like,
You
is
really-
there a long bit where she hangs out on Dinosaur Island and learns new things?
It doesn't
Like,
really seem
it
like
couldn't.
it fits their structure.
It
Yeah.
like I'm wondering if they were planning to do something like that and then just realized it wasn't violent. It's really odd, like the way that when they moved to section 2, there's this really weird screen that's like, this ends chapter 1, the communication chapter, now for the story chapter.
Yeah.
That's like it was like a single black screen. It was kind of like they felt like they needed to explain something, or
Yeah.
I don't know, like either they weren't
It's
sure
also
you
weird
did it
because
or
like chapter 1 is like
the
dozens
game.
of hours, and then this was like what?
Yeah.
4, 5.
And chapter 1 is like basically
No,
all
like
of the
3.
internet. Oh, it was a good 3 at least.
Yeah.
And it would have been longer if it wasn't for the fact that we we cheated and we were like it took us longer to play that last time.
Oh, I mean we started at 9, so yeah.
But we were going for a while last time. I think we hit the end segment at midnight and we ended at 3 a.m. and we didn't get as far as we did here. We didn't even get into the final 40 minutes.
What was I gonna say? I wonder, like, Xenogears has a similar structure, but
Yeah.
my understanding is that was a case of just they
Yeah.
ran out of money and just were like, well, let's do the cutscenes.
Right.
Um,
I mean, that might have also been a
This-
thing. Like, they might have been, like, planning the cutscenes, like, they might have been
Yeah.
starting the cutscenes earlier, and
yeah.
This second
they didn't
half
quite fit in.
I
the
don't know
second
what
half
the-
is so complex that like after like the first week when it was kind of like, oh, we're watching this and it's like all messed up and there's like visual novel style like scenes where there's like text over an empty room and you're just supposed to imagine someone's there. Like I was like, yeah, this looks like it was rushed, but like there was so much care put into this. I am
There's
so
a ton
many
of new
unique
animations.
CGs. I am not willing to believe
New
this,
characters.
this was exactly what they wanted to do.
It doesn't mean it's what they want to do structurally, though. Like, it's
No.
definitely possible that they had a cutscene team that was working along, and, like,
Yeah.
they were fine, they were totally on schedule, and, like, they kept doing this, but, like, everything else, they didn't quite have a place to slot it into.
It's also really interesting that there was a fair amount of interactivity in the second half, but it was all in this thing that was apparently originally the prototype for a game that was never made.
Yeah.
Like, think of other sort of, like, weird things.
If this were like made, if this were an English game, I would like seriously be trying to like either myself or grabbing one of the game historian people I know and trying to get someone to make an oral history of this game because I wonder what they were thinking. Like these people had so many interesting ideas and I can't tell what of this is like intentional and what just sort of happened.
I'm curious if there has been in some of the more sort of obscure things where they've gone and interviewed
Yeah.
companies. I'm going to do a bit of hunting and see if I can find. I'm curious about the history of this company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's really
Several
fascinating.
very weird games.
It's like I don't know.
That
Like,
have, like, really, like, had a real, they've done some really different stuff. Like
Yeah.
they're all
Yeah.
on this, like, on this very strange level, but...
they feel like they were like just not, I don't know, everyone, the entire industry was doing one thing and they were just like, what if we did this and this and this, and like a lot of this stuff feels really modern. Like some of the weirder stuff, they're like all the way back to Evo, like Evo and J and this. A lot of this stuff, like I can find antecedents for it, but they're all things from like 2005 to 2015.
No, I was thinking is in terms of like the weird like low amounts of interactivity versus story.
Yeah.
It basically becomes something like if you played Police Knots, the Hideo Kojima visual novels.
Yeah.
They basically are just linear visual novels with no choice. Basically like a less prettily produced anime.
Yeah.
And then like there's a really like masterfully done action sequence in the middle that uses this really limited engine in a bunch of super clever ways. And then it's back to being like basically
Wild.
linear story, just like here's some pictures and some text.
I'm trying to
completely
imagine.
linear.
I'm
And I
trying to
think
imagine.
also they just had this this animation system and they wanted to get good use out of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's clearly versatile enough that it does in fact work pretty well for that.
But
I'm
it is
trying.
basically like they decided to go like, okay, the second half is a visual novel.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine how I would have responded to this when I was 14. Because I do remember being like 13, 14, like EGM would have the like Meanwhile in Japan section of their magazine
Yeah.
every month. And they showed one of the Wonder Project J games. I remember thinking it was like the coolest thing. And I'm not sure if it was J or J2 that I saw or just an article about both, but it was like in 90, trying to imagine like seeing this in 97. Maybe it's different in Japan because there was more of a visual novel culture. There was stuff like Police Knots. There was the PC 98. But like if I had seen something like this in, like I remember the end of Final Fantasy VI, because the end of Final Fantasy VI is like over half an hour of cutscenes.
Yeah.
If you go back and you look at the soundtrack, there's like a 40-minute track at the end that's just the ending. That blew my mind. The fact that you could just in a game engine tell a story and just keep telling a story for so long and it would like actually hold your attention. So I'm imagining like a 3-hour cutscene that's like as good as most movies. I had at that time had never seen any anime, so that would have basically been like my introduction to anime, right?
Well, meanwhile, like you're back, like you're playing anime games on the PlayStation, and what anime games on the PlayStation means is that there's an opening cutscene and that there's like some anime art. So like clearly this thing that stands really, this would stand like far apart.
I feel like this had an English translation when it came out, this would have been one of those kind of legendary weird,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
You know, video games that made you cry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The death of
no question.
Yeah.
The death of Eris type things.
It's a good animation.
It's really good anime. Like this was just like that most of the ending was anime quality, basically.
Just low res, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that is wild about this. Like, and the character director we now know went on to be part of Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
And it was one of the main people on The Witch's Flower or something like that.
We dug it up.
Yeah.
He was
post Ghibli.
He was on a number of things from Spirited Away on.
Yeah.
And was like high up on a couple of them.
This may have been his sort of like, hey, look, I can do the Ghibli style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna call it.
I think we're gonna call it. It's
Press the A button and see if anything happens.
Oh yeah,
nothing.
we should.
Nothing happens.
Okay, you try.
Yep.
Okay.
You hit start.
Yep. I pressed everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us.
We will be returning, I think, next week with more of the Zelda Four Swords.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
And maybe some other stuff. There was a few other things we were trying to play and then were cut short on.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
I assume I will be crying less next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us on this strange journey.